We are welcoming, of course, my next guest on the show, amateur Illinois Bantamweight Datrelle, DKO, Kozeluh, and he fights
Don't forget I'm number one.
XFC Young Guns 1, March 27th. And of course, trains at Guida's MMA Stop in Crest, Illinois, a veteran, of course, of Elite Amateur Fight League. And we've also seen you at Fight Car Entertainment as well. So you've definitely come
I'm everywhere.
And XFO, right? Yeah, definitely.
And Florida and Oklahoma. Keep going, you know.
Yeah, was that your first fight out of state?
Yes, and it was very different. I can honestly say it was very different. Like all the way down to the air. Like Florida air is different, you know. It was very different. Something that I'm glad that happened, so I can because you know when you're in the UFC, all your fights are gonna be traveling, you know, and that's the main goal. That's what I'm getting ready for. So, you know, that's something I have to get used to, accumulate, play by ear, and come off a full training camp, make sure I'm ready, make sure I'm focused. From here on out, you know, we're gonna see the 100% focused, ready to go DKO.
And yeah, talk about that fight because it was Combat Quest. Had you heard of the promotion before, and how did it come about? How did you get booked on the card?
Yeah, so you know, I was chilling in my, you know, enjoying quarantine and everything, you know, being 21, having a lot of fun, you know. Sure. And they called me like, hey, we got this tough guy named Matt Allison. You want to fight him in 2 weeks? And me being my overly confident self sometime, you know, went on YouTube, looked at his videos and everything, and then looked at my girlfriend like, hey, you want to go on vacation? You know, just have a fight in the middle of it. And I overlooked his skill set a lot of it, you know. And I disrespected mine all in one. And it ate at me for a while. You know, I wanted to schedule a fight right after that.
Sure.
But, you know, it's pretty hard to find opponents with COVID and traveling and stuff. So that's why I'm glad this opportunity came. And everything's worked itself out. You know, that was about 6 months ago. I've been training nonstop since then. And it's night and day. I promise you, Sean, you ain't. Tune in and you're going to see, you know.
Definitely. Well, XFC Young Guns, of course, on March 27th, Young Guns 1. You know, talk about the opportunity to fight for a promotion like this.
Man.
You know, who's I know you've had a few other fighters from Illinois. I don't know if any of your teammates have fought for the XFC, but this is a new thing they're doing with the Young Guns as well.
Yeah.
So this is the first card they're doing.
This is very flattering. It's a very, very, very big opportunity for me, and I love it because it's the big lights, and you know you expect the best of me with the big lights, you know. So and then it's an opportunity to grow my brand and to get signed by XFC. You know that's nothing but good things, you know. And the people I've talked to so far and the people I've dealt with, they've been nothing but professional. The way a promotion you would love to fight for as a fighter, you know, they take care of you. Everything's taken care of. Everything's by the book, you know. And then when it comes time to fight, you know, we got the big lights, the loud music, the announcers, you know, the whole shebang. Right. Sort of Who's Your Fight Club-esque, you know.
Definitely. And it is like Who's Your Fight Club because they're going to have both professional and amateur fights on the same
Exactly.
card.
Exactly. That's perfect.
Huge. Yeah. So, you know, talk about that as well. You know, after this fight, you feel like you might look to test the waters at the pro? Or
I mean, I like to trick interviewers and ask them questions like, what do you think? But in my opinion, yes, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm not that far away from these top tier pros, in my opinion. It's just little tweaks here and there. And I had to become a full-time fighter, which I am now. And I'm a dangerous man. I'm only 21 years old. And Sean, you know this from being around that I have hard fights. I have a lot of hard fights, you know. I don't duck anybody. And my record speaks for itself, you know. And I'm still young. I'm a baby. So just imagine, watch. In 10 days, you're going to see a whole new me.
Definitely. You're fighting Jared Ray. So talk about your opponent. I know he's undefeated, 5-0. Like, what are you expecting from him? Obviously, you know, you said your last fight was kind of like some personal things you had to put aside. You know, it was on you. So for this fight, you know, what do you expect and how do you feel you'll meet the challenge?
Jared, I watched like 1 or 2 videos and turned them off. I don't like to become fans of my opponents. Okay. But one thing I can say is he's got good grappling. And I can expect him to come in a little bit overly confident. You know, I've been that 18-year-old undefeated fighter. You know, you think you're going to be in the UFC next fight. You know, you think you're untouchable, unbeatable. And you know, it's unfortunate, but I got to be that guy. You know, let them know that, hey, you ain't there yet. You ain't there yet. You know, you already know. It's me or him. It ain't gonna be me.
Right. And who's helped you prepare for the fight, and why do you feel they've helped you succeed this
far? My boy right here, little 17-year-old monster. His name's Aru Assassin Patel. Okay. Keep an eye on him, because Illinois is coming back. You know, so when Illinois comes back, you'll get a first glimpse to him. He turns 18 in August, and me and him have been grinding every day. Me, him, James Robinson, all of our fighters. We got this kid named Christian Lapis who's coming up. Celso Silva, he fought Matt Quigley in Imperial, and Matt Quigley's a pretty big name out here. You know, we got a lot of guys that nobody knows about because of COVID, and I love it. You know, it's like a big secret. And all of us are under the age of 23 and 22. And I can't forget about my family at MTC, man. You know, training with Oscar and Nick and Rigo and all of those guys. It's a crap ton of help. You know, it's insane. Like, training with those, you don't get an easy round. Like, you go with 2 rounds, and they're like, all right, you went with these 2 guys. Number one in the UFC, the other's number 2 135er, and the other one's a top 5 125er. So it's like, you know, iron sharpens iron, and it's definitely showing within all of us in both gyms.
Cool. And so you split your time between both, or you're mostly at MMA stop? It's
literally a 50-50 split. I came up with a formula. You know, both of my coaches are on board with it. I'm usually at MTC Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday, and then I alternate my Tuesdays from sparring to grappling. You know,
sure.
And I'm at MMA stop Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So 3 days and 3 days. My rest day is Sunday. So everybody sees me equally. You know.
Nice.
And I've been in this camp since January. I can pinpoint the exact date, January 6th.
Okay.
Every day. It got to the point where I was like, holy cow, it's day 62. Like, what's going, you know? But it was got lost in hard work, and the fruits of my labors are showing. You know, really.
Right. So it's like we're about 2 weeks away. So do you kind of like tap her off? What do you do with the training camp?
Yes. Here on out is fun, because like this is the longest camp I've ever had in my life. Like, just being obsessive and being like, you know, like just making sure no corners are turned, you know? So, yeah, I'm tapering off now, because it's been like I was hitting a little bit of a plateau there where I was like, all right, this again, you know, just stuff like that. So I kind of fell back for 3 to 4 days, and the weight wasn't coming off how it should have. So I stopped training for about 3 to 4 days to reassess. You know, I'm big on energy, yoga, etc. And it helped me. My weight dropped, my mental reset, and I was ready to go, you know. It's been a very long camp. So for these last 10 days, I'm just doing like no physical touching, you know, just all cardio based. And I'm in killer shape.
Awesome. And when you review a fight with your team, like, what do you feel were improvements that are needed? Obviously, like the last fight, what do you feel was needed, you know, going into this one?
Within myself?
Yeah.
Let's say lifestyle. Really, let's just make it. That's the big thing. Like, my lifestyle changed completely, a complete 180. Before in COVID, you know, like everybody's like, oh, DKO, you're number 1, blah, blah, blah. And I was marinating in that, if you know what I'm saying. I know like we're only amateurs and everything, but I am young, you know, and it was easy to marinate in that and live with that little bit of a name that I created with myself. And I kind of got lackluster and thinking that everything was going to come easy, thinking that I didn't have to earn this and stuff. And that was a very good way to wake me up and be like, hey, bro, you still got a lot of work to do. There's guys out here in freaking Dagestan who, you know, you got to be the best in the world. Yeah. And that's one thing I can say is, like, I'm not getting ready for Jared Ray. I'm getting ready for Peter Young. I'm getting ready for Aljamain Sterling. I'm getting ready for these guys, you know. So I'm not satisfied with winning.
Definitely. So that's actually, it wasn't actually anything you saw on tape. It was just a combination.
No, sir, nothing I saw on tape. Because in my true heart, if I fought Matt Allison in this shape that I am in, I beat him. 10 out of 10. I ain't gonna front. 10 out of 10.
Okay. And then when the world opens up, how much forward are you looking to fight international competition?
Man, I'm trying to fight Sean, I'm a wrestler, right? So I come from, if you lose Sunday, you can wrestle next Sunday and get that L back, you know?
Right.
So I like to compete as much as possible. I love to compete. I'm one of those guys who you call a gamer, you know? And I love the grind, but some days I can go without it. Just put me under the lights and let me do what I do. But I have been applying the grind now, so this is insane. Like, I cannot wait. You know, I cannot wait to see the results of this fight and how I look and everything. And not really the results, because I know what the result's going to be. Just how I respond, how I look, how my body feels, etc. Because the fight is at 130 pounds. So it's not a weight class.
Okay.
So if I make the weight and I still feel like, you know, I'm healthy there, then maybe potentially I can drop down to 125, because I have a fight at 125. I made the weight, but I was 18 years old, uneducated, and kind of like, you know, being a wrestler. I made it that way. But now I'm obsessed with every part of the game, like the nutrition, everything. I'm smartest I've ever been by far, you know.
Nice.
So I believe that if I do that by the book, with my frame and my length and my speed and my IQ, I'll be a problem, especially at 125 pounds.
Yeah. When the world, my next question is, what do you use for recovery after each training session?
Usually I drink BCAAs. I did have a nutrition sponsorship, but we had to part ways. So usually I drink BCAAs. And I'm really, I recommend you to do it, Sean. I'm big on yoga. I love it. Seriously, I do like 2 hours a day. Me and my girlfriend, that's all we do. It's like, hey, like I do as much yoga as I do train. And it's like, I became addicted to like training hard and then waking up the next day, just not as sore as I usually would, being able to train through that, you know? So really just not being a dickhead and just treating recovery as part of the game. You know, drink your BCAAs, do your yoga, do your mental. Mental is the biggest part of all of this.
Yeah, it has to be. And then
exactly.
What's next after this fight? Like, are you eager to make up for some lost time? I also want to know,
man,
events in Illinois.
It's been like
coming back as well.
Exactly. It's been like 3 or 4 fights now to where I'm like, all right, you look good here. You may maybe go pro, you know, and I've looked good, but I'm still young, you know, so I do want to play it by ear, but I believe that this is my last amateur fight. But you never know, because like, say I go out there and I perform how I know I'm going to perform, and XFC's like, hey, we want to sign you. I don't know the details within that. But if I have to turn pro within my next fight through XFC, I would be glad to.
Yeah.
More than glad. It's just what weight we're gonna go, we don't know yet. We're gonna figure that out.
I mean, I believe it's better than making it with a shadier promotion, you know, making your pro debut.
Of course. Yeah. Hey, we don't fight it. Yeah. That gymnasium, you know, steel chairs. You know how that goes, Sean. I live for the bright lights.
Yeah, definitely. And then, you know, another question I had was fighters that you feel that you'd like to match up against, the ones that are in Illinois.
The ones that are in Illinois, let's see. All right. Hey, all right, this is what I'm going to do. I love this question because I'm not going to call out no amateurs. You know, I'm number 1 in Illinois as an amateur. So then I would be kind of backtracking. I don't want to call out anybody, but you know who we fight against, Sean. You know MMA style fight. You know, them boys in Naperville, Top Notch, you know, they all could get it.
I got you. Definitely. And what can we expect at XFC Young Guns 1? And, you know, obviously, who's going to be cornering you as well? That's why I wanted to ask you, because I know you've got, you know, several great coaches that you could have, you know, from MMA Stop and also MTC as well.
Yep. Who will be in my corner is my head coach, Daniel Morini, and my other head coach, Alex Trujillo. Both head coaches at both gyms, you know, so nice and simple. They'll both be there. And what was the other question you asked? Because it was a good one. I think it was.
What can we expect at XFC Young Guns 1?
Oh, okay.
Against Jared
Sharp
Ray.
speed, sharp, fast, stiffness. Stiffness, I'm telling you, stiffness. Nice. You know what I'm saying? Sharp, fast, being strong. I'm the strongest I've ever been, and I'm lighter than I walk. Like, I'm some of the lightest I've ever been, and I'm strong. One thing I can say I forgot to tell you is my strength and conditioning has been. My uncle took me to the side and like, hey, bro, Matty Ice is a little too big, and you struggle with his strength. And as much as I disagreed, sort of, kind of, I was like, I was just out of shape. I did what he told me to do, and it's worked. You know, we got to be coachable here. You know, we got to be coachable. And it's worked. My strength and conditioning is amazing, amazing. I don't get tired no more, Sean, you know.
And for sure. And Dan Melrini, Alex Trujillo, have you had these guys corner you before? Do they
100%. Yeah, they were there for the Ronnie fight. They back each other very, very great. Okay. When I went to the corner after the first round, they took turns explaining to me, you know, because that's like probably the most chaotic experience of someone's life, just being in a corner in between a fight, like in between rounds and everything. You got people screaming at you a million things, and you're like, bro, I'm just tired. I'm just, you know, you got to focus on winning.
Definitely.
But shout out Top Mount though. Shout out Top Mount. It's a new sponsor I just got. They just made these 6 shirts. I gotta shout out them out. This guy that I just met is amazing. They are our sponsor here at MMA Stop. They make my uncle's shirts also. Top Mount Apparel, guys, check them out for real. And don't forget to buy your DKO shirt.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I wanted you to plug your shirt and you know how people can purchase it.
Of course, yeah. Go to topmountapparel.com. They should release it within next week. Shirts don't look like this, but they'll say DKO, you know.
For sure.
I think they're on there for about $20, $25 or something like that. I appreciate everyone if you go click on the link and buy a shirt.
Definitely. Well, we appreciate you, Datrelle. Best of luck to you. Everybody check out XFC Young Guns 1.
And don't forget the name Aru Assassin Patel. He is coming in August.
Okay. Yes. I'm going to hit you.
Shout out James Robinson, too. He fighting the same day as me. That's my teammate. We've been putting in work for 2.5 months.
Awesome.
Gonna go kill it.
Definitely. And on the same card or a different one?
Yes. He's the second fight, and I believe I'm the 5th.
Okay. Cool.
James FGP.
Nice. Well, we appreciate you again. Check it out. XFC Young Guns 1, March 27th. If you're in the area, I think it's going to be in
Oklahoma, Shawnee, Oklahoma.
Okay, Shawnee, Oklahoma.
It's on Fight TV. It's free. It's on Fight TV. I'm the main event on the undercard, so it'll be free.
Oh, awesome. I'm going to check it out then. Yeah. And so everybody check it out and make sure to check out Datrelle.
And we got to get an interview after the fight.
Appreciate you being on the show, fighting Jared Ray, XFC Young Guns 1, March 27th. And best of luck to you, man. I'm sure we'll talk again real soon.
Thank you. DKO, baby. Let's go.